How long have you lived in Japan?
25 years. I will never go back.
You know, I went back to America last year. When you're paying $16 for a hot dog, yet you can get it for $3 here. Yeah, no, I'll stay here.
Do you think that Americans or foreigners are treated like second-class citizens in Japan?
If you come here with the entitlement that you're going to be treated equal when you didn't grow up here, when you don't speak the language.
When you're looking for an apartment or a place to live, that's the number one thing. People will straight up say, oh, we don't take foreigners. We don't accept foreigners.
Do you think if you lived in the U.S. and you had gotten sick there, you could have been bankrupted by this?
I would have been screwed.
We always hear about the millions of immigrants trying to move to the United States, but what about Americans that have left? There are over 100,000 of us living in Japan right now, and some of us have decided to make Japan our permanent home. So today we're going to be delving into this topic by interviewing different Americans who have decided to settle in Japan permanently. So let's get started.
Okay.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Richard Inoue, and I am from Fukuoka, Japan. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. When I first came to Japan, I thought I was going to be here for about 2 or 3 years and go back home, with just a Japanese experience. But so it was like I was here the year before 9/11. So when 9/11 hit, that shocked me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stay here.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm from America, and I've been living in Tokyo for it'll be 10 years in a few months. I'm from a really, really small town in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Do you ever plan to go back to America?
It's just easy and comfortable to live here, and I've developed a lot of health issues since moving here, and there's really no incentive to move back to the United States with the health issues that I have, considering how hard it would be for me to live there with them.
So, what's your name?
My name is Akasan. That's what everybody knows me as.
How long have you been in Japan?
I think a good 14 years now.
Are you staying here longer than you expected?
100%. I didn't really expect to come here for so long. I wanted to achieve something and then just go back to America, go back to Los Angeles. But as the times changed and the economy's actually changed as well, I just found myself finding that Japan, particularly Tokyo, was a lot more relaxing for me and a lot easier to get along with life.
Hi, my name is Drew. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, the 51st state.
We snuck a Canadian in.
I first fell in love with Japan 19 years ago, but I could not afford to retire in Canada, But we have our own house here, or apartment. So we have that already settled. So retiring in Japan with the cost of living in Japan is way much easier than going back home to retire, due to all the costs of daily living, so on and so forth.
How long have you lived in Japan?
A long time, 17 or 18 years at this point.
And you're from where in America?
I'm from New York City, all over. I lived all over America.
You want to just stay in Japan for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, why not? It's safe here. I can go to the hospital whenever I want to. I can live in the center of the city and just have a normal blue-collar job. And it's great here. You can actually take the buses and the train anywhere you want. It's clean. The people are nice. The language is amazing.
Most of the people that want to come to Japan are retiring. Or someone that basically is tired of the norm. If they're tired of, just struggling and fighting just to make ends meet. Like, I got a friend of mine and they were shocked. Medical health. I can go to see a doctor for $5 and $10. You can't do that in America.
No, you can't.
No. And then, paying for prescription drugs, monthly prescription drugs, I pay like maybe $20. You can in America. You can't. So, yeah. And they're shocked when I tell them stuff like that. Fresh vegetables. Eggs. I was shocked when I seen on the news eggs costing $6. So it's like security, just being safe and having just feeling comfortable.
How does Japanese healthcare compare to American healthcare? So you'd rather be in Japan to receive healthcare here. Why is it better here than in America?
Well, there's universal healthcare here in Japan, so I don't have to pay a ton of money out of pocket. I pay into it with my taxes every month.
If you were to get the same kind of medical treatment in America, how much more do you think it would cost?
So I've had 2 brain surgeries. I've had 2 bouts of radiation therapy. I've taken chemotherapy medication. I've had tons of MRIs, different scans, blood work, tests, everything. I can't even imagine. The first time I had to get brain surgery, I was in the hospital for almost 4 months. This past November, I was hospitalized for another one for 2 months. And I can't imagine it would be much cheaper than probably $1 million if I had to pay for that out of pocket in America. Just like talking to like other people and their experiences and stuff. Unless I like, you can always be one of those people that has like a great job that like covers everything, right? But I'm not one of those people that's gonna have this amazing job back home that can take care of all that.
$1 million out of pocket in America for this treatment?
I would imagine 2 brain surgeries plus all of the hospitalizations and even just like an MRI, right? And one MRI back home would probably cost like between $1 and $2 grand, I think is like how much it is. And I've had to get those like a lot. I'll just say I've gotten many over the past like 8 years. I can't imagine.
Would it be cheaper for you to be in Canada right now or Japan? Which is better?
For me personally, being in Japan, I am getting, for the last year, getting the help that I need. And it seems relatively cheaper. Because my 30% will pay for hospitalization, medication, and things like that. There's a few things that I have to pay out of pocket, but other than that, it seems to be pretty good. And compared to back home, it's the medication that is expensive. But yeah, we're fighting lung cancer, metastases, and trying to live every day the best that I can.
So go to Drew's GoFundMe, help him out, help him cover that cost that he has to incur here. He's a good friend of mine. And we let him in here even though he's Canadian.
51st state.
That's right.
No.
Do you feel safer in Japan than America?
Yes. In some certain ways, yes. There's still going to be prejudices. There's still going to be hurdles that I got to get over. But in terms of just being safe in my own skin, yeah, for the most part, I definitely feel a lot safer.
You said there's prejudices in Japan too. What do you mean specifically?
When you're looking for an apartment or a place to live, that's the number one thing. People will straight up say, oh, we don't take foreigners, we don't accept foreigners, or they'll say, oh, well, we had an issue with a foreigner years ago, but I'm like, that's them. You could have had an issue with a Japanese person as well, but they just don't accept foreigners, and that's one of the biggest prejudices that still remain to this day. I understand in some sense, and nowadays I have a little bit more leverage when talking with agencies. They let people know that, he's been here for over 10 years. He's not going anywhere. But even then, they feel like for whatever reason, it's a big chance,
Do you think that Americans or foreigners are treated like second-class citizens in Japan? And if so, why would they want to live here as second-class citizens?
Have you ever grown up poor in America? Like when you grow up poor anywhere, you're automatically a second-class citizen. You're already on the outskirts. I remember going to school and I would have like ratty thrift store clothing. And I get made fun of, So it doesn't matter where you go. You're always going to not fit in my opinion. The moment you start looking for validation outside yourself is when you lose. And if you come to Japan with that mentality of like, well, I guess if you come here with the entitlement that you're going to be treated equal when you didn't grow up here, when you don't speak the language, you don't go into a bar and ask for milk, You don't go to a seafood restaurant and ask for a hamburger. You got to come here with gauged expectations. And you got to remember, for every bit of discrimination that you face as a foreigner, there's probably some Japanese people out there that have equally experienced something like that.
Do you feel safer in Japan than America?
Oh yeah. It's like I have many times have dropped my wallet or left my keys or left my car open. It's literally safe. That's the one most important thing.
So you feel like your kids are safer here than they would be?
Most definitely. It's like I wanted to take my son there for like a homestay, and I was terrified. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Nope.
You were afraid to take your son to America?
No, I was. I was telling my mother that I was thinking of taking my son there for about, like 5 or 6 months to experience American school. No, I changed my mind. No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
Too dangerous. And not just, now, he's elementary, but even at elementary level, it's like, you hear things about schools and elementary schools getting shot up for what? These are kids. Why are they having shootouts at it's in elementary schools? So no, it's too dangerous. I'm not doing that.
In America, I feel like I could rely on strangers, maybe if I needed help. In Japan, I don't really feel that so much, but I also don't feel as many, like there's as many times when I would need that. Like I'm not worried about some random guy following me home, which might happen more often back home.
You can walk around big cities at night here, no problem.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can leave your wallet at a restaurant or on the train, you get it back. You lose your passport, you get it back. Forget your laptop, you get it back. You can go to the bathroom in a cafe and leave your laptop there and cell phone and generally not have to worry about it. And how about the overall environment? Every time you go home, does it feel like it's getting worse and worse? The crime is getting worse, the environment is getting worse.
Well, being from Vancouver, we have our Skid Row and high volume of drugs and homelessness and so on and so forth. I just don't know how you can survive back home. You do see homelessness here, and you've done a few videos on it, plug. But yeah, compared to back home, no.
Not nearly as bad. Do you think that Canada, Vancouver specifically, has gotten worse since you left?
It's gotten worse and better. Because of the Olympics, I left a long time ago. So 2010 Olympics, they cleaned everything up. Unfortunately, it's gotten worse over the years now. So it's almost kind of back just the way it is. And it's not good.
So you came to Japan to escape all that in a way?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you think your life was better in America or is it better here in Japan?
I think if you have money, America is a great country to be in. But if you're just a guy with not that much money, Japan is way better. This is the everyman's country, like you can live very comfortably on a timid, regular, decent salary here. And I feel like in America, everyone's priced out by salary, by like where you can afford to live. And in Japan, I don't really feel like that. Everywhere's pretty good. Anyway, I grew up poor. She grew up not poor. So we got different opinions going on here. But overall, it's like, look, if you're a career-oriented person and you really want to grow and you want to be able to work anywhere in the world, it's probably better to try to build that career in America before coming over here. But if you like Japan and you don't really care about the career building and you just want to be in Asia, then come on over. Well, I'm waiting for you. Come on.
So, the thing that surprised me was that when I was living in America, it cost me maybe $500, $600 for rent. And that same house today costs $2,000.
Wow.
For rent. That was for rent. Yeah. So no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Boston's very expensive for rent.
Oh yeah.
Is it different being a black foreigner in Japan? And what's your experience been?
Yeah. But I'm used to it. It's like being in America. Being the minority in America, it's like being black is still considered a minority.
Do you think your salary is higher here in Japan than it would be in America?
No, definitely not.
So you didn't come for the money?
No, if I were actually back home in Los Angeles, I would have had much better deals, much better sponsorships, and a lot less struggles trying to do things because of the time zone. But all that being said, I'm still comfortable with where I'm at right now.
A lot of people get mad when they hear about expats leaving America because it's supposed to be the best country on earth. Everyone's leaving their country to go to America. We have a lot of immigrants. And for you to do the opposite and leave America is almost unpatriotic in a lot of people's opinion. What do you think about that?
I think at the end of the day, you got to just get in where you fit in. And, America's not for everybody. And luckily, we live in the 21st century where if you don't like where you live, you can move. And a lot of people say Japan isn't going to fix you. If you're screwed up, no matter where you go, you're bringing your issues. But the thing that people don't realize is that can be environmental a lot of the time, though. It can be the people that you surround yourself with. It can be the type of town that you want. And if you want something more, there's nothing wrong with going out and trying to change it up.
I have nothing to complain about that's going to make me leave. No.
It's such small things.
Yeah,
it's such small things.
Yeah.
Like
you just got to complain sometimes. Just got to bitch every now and then.
And I have the really good position here of not working for a Japanese company. So like all the stress and the negatives about Japan, most of the stuff I don't have to deal with.
That's true. A lot of complaints do come from work, I feel like, living here, from my friends and yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for your time, Kaylee. It was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. I'm sure you'll be fine wherever you end up.
Thanks. You too, Akasan. Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes.
Richard is a friend of mine. I saw him walking down the street with an R2D2 one day, and we've been
Yes.
friends ever since.
Oh my God, I missed you. I
Oh,
really
yeah,
missed you.
It's been a while. Okay, we're good.
It's been an
How was it?
honor. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be on the Oriental Pearl channel right here, and I just feel so honored, you know. And you're getting that endorsement right here from Tikyo Sam.
Japan for life.
Thank you, Drew. All right, and one more thing, I'll just repeat it again. Go over and support my friend Drew. He's paying for a lot of medical bills right now, and we'd like to lighten the load off of his shoulders. So go over to GoFundMe and make a donation and support him
Appreciate it.
because he's going through a lot right now and he's fighting. Team Drew. Thank you, Drew. Thank you.